Electromagnetic Induction Session 4 class. I hope that all of you are safe in homes. No diseases, nothing will happen. Just take care of yourself. Now come to the today's topic, which is eddy current, or also called Foucault current. Before defining the definition of eddy current, let me explain about this experiment here. In this experiment, I have a metallic plate which is usually made up of aluminum or copper, and I have a strong magnet. Now what I am doing here, I suspended the metallic plate with a solid support and try to oscillate this metallic plate in the absence of this magnet. In the absence of this magnet, I will record the time interval taken for particular oscillation. The time interval taken for particular number of oscillation, I record and write it down. Let us say that for 20 oscillations, the time taken for the pendulum when there is no magnetic field, when there is no magnetic field. Now let us say that when there is no magnetic field, the oscillation time rate taken is says that it is a 15 second I recorded. Now once the magnetic field is kept in between the plates when it is oscillating, again I am recorded the time period when there is some value of magnetic field, some value of magnetic field. I don't know what is the value of magnetic field, but when the magnetic field is present, it is not, when the magnetic field is zero, when the magnetic field is zero, when the magnetic field is not zero. The first case is when the magnetic field is not zero. When the magnetic field is zero means I have not kept the magnetic field. I just recorded how much time interval taken for particular oscillation by this metallic plate when they are suspended freely and try to oscillate. Now when the magnetic field is introduced between the plate during the oscillations, I recorded once again the time taken or a time period for same particular number of oscillations. I observe that the time here is 5 seconds. Now there is a drastic reduction in time period for oscillation. Now the question arises, why the time period reduces? When there is no field, the time is larger. When we have introduced a field during the motion of the pendulum, there is a time interval reduction. Time interval reduction means the oscillations are reduced. Now this is the question arises. Now why actually it happens? Let's understand the concept behind it here. Now here, check the students here. When the pendulum, when the metallic plate oscillates in magnetic field, now this is the first position where the plate is not in the field. It means that here the flux linked with the plate is zero. The flux links with the plate is zero because it is outside the field zone. Once the plate enters the magnetic field, what actually happens? The flux value in a plate starts increasing. It starts increasing. You already studied in the previous classes that once the flux value increases, definitely what happens? The flux linked with metallic plate increases, means because a small portion of enters the magnetic field means definitely what happens? The flux links with these metallic plates gradually increases because magnetic field lines are moving from north pole to south pole of the magnets. Okay, what happens? The magnetic flux linked with the metallic plate starts to increases. If it starts to increases, definitely what happens? There will be a induced EMF will be developed in a metallic plate. Induced EMF will be developed in a metallic plate. Now, if there is an induced EMF, what will happen to the electrons in this place? Now, these electrons will in this plate, they try to induce a current in it in a circular form. Try to induce a current in a circular form because the plate is perpendicular to the magnetic field. And what happens? They try to induce a current in the plate. Now the electrons in the metal try to take a form of circular shape. They try to move in a circular form. Try to move in a circle. Due to this, the current starts forming. Now the question comes, what is the direction of current? What is the direction of current? According to Lenz's law, if any induced EMF is formed in a conductor or in a plate, what actually happens? This induced current try to oppose the cause. Here, oppose the cause means what here? The cause is increasing magnetic flux. Now it means that the current developed in a plate try to oppose the increasing magnetic flux. to oppose that, what have to do? This face, the face which is the face of plate which is facing north pole has to acquire a north pole here. Then only he can oppose the cause. Now, how can this acquire a north pole? What should be the direction? According to Lenz's law says that if a current flows in a anti-clockwise direction, the current flows in a anti-clockwise direction. Now recall the right hand thumb rule. What? If current encircles, now these all fingers shows the current direction, means the thumb shows the direction of field. Now, if the current is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction, this thumb represents the north pole and this base represents the south pole. Now here the clockwise, here the anti-clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction. This is the clockwise direction. Here what happens? Here the anti-clockwise direction is, where is the north side? This face of the plate becomes north side and the opposite face becomes south side. The plate face which is facing the south side becomes south side. The plate face which is facing north side becomes north side plate. Now what happens? This induced current try to circulate in a anti-clockwise direction and here produces the north pole. Here produces the north. This face of the plate acquires a north polarity and opposite will be south polarity. Now this circulating current, and the current how it is moving here? It is circulating in a plate because electrons are moving circular motion. Now this circulating current Now, this circulating current is called eddy current because whenever you see that water circles, because sometimes we have seen the water flowing in the ponds, even you see that nearby you, when a vehicle pass on you, the air behind the vehicles try to encircle it, it will form the ringing around you. That is all called circling. Here also same case what happens. Inside the plate, the current moves in a circular form. These circular formation of the currents are called circulating currents. Some are called eddies. These circular moving formation of currents are called eddies. Hence they are called eddy current. Now how can we define the induced circulating current? Because it is induced, because the change in magnetic flux links with the plate, hence the current is induced in a plate. Now how can we define the eddy current? The induced circulating current. What is this? It is not a single piece. It is a bulk piece of conductor, because it is a plate. It is not a single strip of wire. It is a bulk piece of conductor. That's why the induced circulating current produced in a bulk piece of a conductor, when they are subject to changing magnetic flux or changing magnetic field, now it is called eddy current. It is called eddy currents. I just note down the definition here. I write it down. What is eddy current? The induced circulating current, produced, in which it is produced in a bulk pieces of a conductor. Now remember this word, a bulk pieces, circulating current. It is very important word. Bulk pieces in a circulating current is induced. The induced circulating current produced in a bulk pieces of a conductor when they are subjected to changing magnetic flux or field, both we can call right here flux, changing magnetic flux. Now this is the definition of eddy current. You might have been understand these things. What actually doing here? This reduction of time period or reduction of oscillation is called damping technique. What actually happens here? The time period is reduced once the magnetic field is introduced. It means that the oscillations are reduced. Oscillation of the pendulum is reduced. This method of reducing or the effect of reducing the oscillation of the metallic plate in a magnetic, when the magnetic field is kept, this is called as damping effect. What is the damping effect called? The reduction, the effect of reducing oscillation, the effect of reducing oscillation is called damping. Now this is very important word. What is the damping? I will not repeat once again when the word comes. This is damping is very important word. Damping is what? The effect of reducing oscillation, means the oscillation will be reduced. Now this effect is called as damping effect. This effect is called as damping effect. Now this is what we call eddy currents. Now one question arises here. What actually eddy current causes here? The eddy current causes the effect of damping. It means the time period for oscillation is reduced. Time period for oscillation is reduced. Now if you go thoroughly one more step ahead, what actually happens? The time period is reduced. Why time period is reduced? Because there is a induced current in a metallic plate that reduces. Now how that reduced? That is most important question will come. How that induced EMF reduce the time period? Now you understand what actually happens. Now what actually happens? If I raise this metallic plate up to here, means I am using some work, external work I am doing. I am leaving it. This metallic plate try to oscillate in the magnetic field. Now what actually happens? My mechanical energy is converted into what? Induced EMF or induced current. Means my part of mechanical energy is converted into some portion of electrical energy. Later on it will be a form of heat energy. Later on in the form of heat energy. It means that the oscillations, the swinging of these metallic plates, it will last up to which the complete mechanical energy of the plate is converted into heat energy or electrical energies. You might understand here. What actually happens here? The mechanical energy of the plate during the swinging is slowly converting into mechanical energy into heat energy. Mechanical energy into heat energy. That's why the oscillations are reduced. Oscillations are reduced because once the induced current is formed, this induced current later on will convert heat. It does generate heat. Because of this, some portion of mechanical energy is converted into, in a first swing, into heat energy. Now this oscillation stands up to complete mechanical energy is converted into heat energies. Complete mechanical energy is converted into heat energy. When the complete mechanical energy is converted to heat energy, the oscillations will be damped. Oscillations will be damped. Damped means they are stopped. The oscillations are stopped. Now you might understand what actually happens here. The induced current generates a heat in the metallic plate. Heat in the metallic plate. What is the, where comes the heat? Heat is actually the mechanical energy of the plate is converted into what? Heat in the form of heat. Why they convert it in the form of heat? Because there is an induction in the current. Induction in the current in a metallic plate. This is very important. Mechanical energy of a plate. Mechanical energy of a plate is converted into what form? In the form of heat energy in the plate. Because of this, what happened? The oscillations are damped. Oscillations are damped. Okay, these one part, these 3 points are important regarding this experiment. We will understand what is eddy current. Now, very important question: is this a desirable effect or is a favorable effect? Because of there is a conduction of heat in the metallic plates between it is oscillating in a magnetic field. There are so many devices in everyday life, they are operating in this condition. Means where we have magnetic field, these metallic plates are oscillating in the magnetic field, like our motors, dynamos, other devices like generators, or transformers. Transformers you usually see in a tube light. Choke is there. Inside that we have a transformer. Now all these devices they uses these conditions where we have magnetic field. In that magnetic field we have a bulk core of a bulk piece of a conductor is there. If there is a bulk piece of conductor, definitely what happens? There will be a production of eddy currents. You might have been heard a sound of humming sound near to the transformer. We have nearby house, we have a transformer, electrical transformer. We just go near there, there is a humming sound. It is a bee-like sound, it's a moo like this. Now this humming sound is because of eddy current, because there is a vibration. These vibrations generate a sound. How this vibration comes? Because of what happened? Induced current in a core material of the bulk pieces of the material. Now, is it desirable or desirable? Is it generates any useful effect or a non-useful effect? Basically, this heat generation is a non-useful effect. Why? Because whatever current is utilized here, it is lost in the form of heat. It is lost in the form of heat. Hence, it is an undesirable effect for some cases like dynamo I told you. Now, how can I reduce this dynamo effect? Now, first of all, I have to understand how much amount of heat is generated, how much amount of mechanical power is reduced per second as you go to the Joule's heating effect. Now, the heat generated or power lost, how can you write? I square into R. Here, R is the radius of this plate. R is the resistance of this plate, where I is the induced current in material. It means that the heat generated as per the Joule's law, whatever amount of heat generated in this plate is equal to I square. Then R is a constant. The resistance of the metallic plate is constant. What is on which factor it is proportional? It means that the heat generation is directly proportional to what? I square, that is the eddy current formation. If the eddy current is more, it is a twice, it is a heat generated will be there. It means large amount of large amount of electrical energy lost in the form of heat. Now, how can we reduce that? How can we control that? Now, one thing is that their resistance. The resistance. Now, what is the formula of resistance? The formula of resistance will be rho. The formula for resistance, I write it down. Resistance is rho L by A. I cannot control rho is the density of material, where L and area will contribute. If I reduce this area somehow, of this plate area, if I reduce the area, I am increasing the resistance of this plate. If I increase the resistance, definitely what happens? The heat generation will be reduced. That's why many cases dynamos and your transformers, what we do, the core material is not a complete bulk material. We used to do what? We are doing what? We are cutting some areas in this place, like making slots in the metallic plates. Now here what actually doing? I am cutting some portion of the plate. I am cutting what? Some portion of the plate. Now if I oscillate this plate, the oscillations are not reduced. The time taken for this particular plate will not reduce in the magnetic. Why? Because some portion or some area is reduced here. Now here what I mean? I am forming a slots. In here. Now these are called slots or empty areas. I am cutting some portion in the plate. Now, when I cut some portion, what happens? The area reduced. If the area reduced means the resistance of the plate increases. If the resistance of plate increases, the heat generation also reduces. This is the best method to reduce the eddy current formation. What we are doing? We have to slot the plate so that we can reduce the area. Once you reduce the area, the resistance of plate increases. If the resistance of plate increases, means what happens? The eddy current formation also reduces. I hope that this will understand that how can we control the eddy current formation. Now here, some cases it is undesirable. You have seen but many cases we are using for an application, for useful purpose also we are using. Undesirable in cases of dynamos, transformers, motors, where what happens, we are wounded copper wire on a bulb pieces. Now what happens, the electrical energy, some part will be converted into heat energy. To avoid that, what we are doing, we are making slots. We are making slots in the metal. These slots are also laminated. If you laminate further here, more the resistance, means you are increasing further resistance in a metallic plates. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now we go to the applications of the eddy current. Applications of the eddy current. Now, eddy current applications, I'll write down one by one what are the applications are there. The first application is, as you see that, for what purpose happening? I have damped this oscillation. That's why the first application of eddy current first one will be electromagnetic damping. Electromagnetic damping. Now what is electromagnetic damping? I say that in a common galvanometer, whatever you see in a lab here, in the lab, in a galvanometer, we have a coil wounded on a metal frame. Let's just try it here. Now this is the south pole, this is the north pole. This is the magnetic field setup in a galvanometer. In this galvanometer, we have a metal frame is there. On this metal frame, the coil is wounded. On this metal frame, the coil is wounded, and with this coil there is a pointer is attached. This is called the pointer is attached. Now, once the current flowing in this wire, what actually happens? The needle starts showing oscillation. The needle starts showing what happens? Oscillation, because the pointer, this is pointer. The pointer is attached to the coil. When the current flows in this coil, what happens? The pointer starts responding to the flow of current. Now, when this is happens, what happens? The coil, if the pointer rotates, this complete frame also rotates in a magnetic field. Now, what happens? The flux links with this coil will be changed. Now, once the flux links with the coil is changed, there is an eddy current will form on a frame. This eddy current try to oppose this formation of the induced current, and the coil will come back to try to come back to its original position. That's why it will reduce the oscillation effect. It means the pointer starts oscillating, it will come back in a very short interval of time to its original position. Now, this effect of reducing oscillation in a galvanometer, they are called deadbeat galvanometer. Deadbeat galvanometer. It means that the damping effect, it is utilized in a useful way in a deadbeat galvanometer to bring back the pointer to its original position after several oscillations in very short interval of time. That's why it is called electromagnetic damping. The next application will be speedometer. I hope that you heard the word name speedometer. Every bike has a meter to indicate what is your instantaneous speed at this particular time. Now, the speedometers in your all the vehicles, whatever using to indicate what is your speed, that meter is based on eddy current concept. Now, what actually happens? There is an axle. The axle is attached to a drum. Inside the drum, there is a magnet. Now, this magnet actually rotates in a drum with a drum. Now, what actually happens? The flux induced in a drum is causally as a magnet rotates in a drum, in an aluminum drum. What happens? The magnetic flux links with the drum changes. Now, whatever the magnetic flux links with the drum changes, it induces a current in that drum. That induced current will be, with the help of a pointer, it will be noted down what is your speed. Now, if the larger the speed, the more speed the the magnet rotate in the axle in a drum, the more amount of magnetic flux is changed, and the needle will show the larger deflections. Now here, with the help of eddy current, we using speedometers are designed. The next third applications will be induction furnace. You have might heard the word furnace is the one in which we melt the metals, in which we have melted metal. Now induction furnace, with the help of induction means you are not connecting it. How this induction furnace is? I tell you here. We will take a bucket here. With this bucket, inside surface of this bucket we have a reflecting surfaces. Now around this we have put a coin. Now once the current flows in this, what happens? There a magnetic flux will develop. In this bucket, what happens? It will induces a current, that is an anti current will form. Now, because it is a bulk conductor, now these bulk conductor, if you small pieces of fringes of metal, if you put large amount of heat, because we have a reflector here, with the help of this filter, there is a heat will be trapped there only. Now, with a large amount of heat is produced, we can use for this for the melting the metal pieces or fringes. That's why the induction furnace is a furnace in which the metal pieces are melted. Metal pieces are melted. How they are melted? We have a bucket. It is a bulk piece of conductor wounded with the copper wire. Inside the metal pieces, we have a reflector. Now we have small holes are also here. Now when a small pieces of metal we have, what happens? When the current flowing in a conductor, what happens? It will generate a magnetic flux. The magnetic flux linked with this blood conductor changes. Now when it is changed, it produces an eddy current. Because of eddy current, it will generate a heat energy, large of heat energy. This will be trapped with the help of reflectors, and it will large amount of heat will be developed inside the metal, these reflector places, hence it will be melted metals. Now next most your regular usage will be analog energy meter. Every household in your home you have also seen, you can easily observe this energy meter, because your electrical readings, whatever coming in your home, the meter which reads how much energy you consumed today. You see there is a aluminum disc rotating in a meter. Now how this aluminum disc rotates in meter? This aluminum disc rotates because there is a wire we pass from this. Now how much amount of energy you consume, with the help of that, the magnetic flux linked with that aluminum disc changes, hence eddy current will form. This is because of this eddy current slowly try to rotate, and it will count that in the form of reading how much amount of energy you consume. Now this is a day-to-day use commonly, that is called energy meters. We use eddy current effect in a energy meter to record how much amount of energy is utilized for you. Now next will be induction cooker. Nowadays cooking facilities, cooking machines are also coming. Induction cooker. Induction means what here? Without any attachment, we are using cooking methods. Now next will be induction cooking. That will be, at least we have remember 5 applications, that is electromagnetic damping, speedometer, induction furnace, analog energy meter, induction cooker. If I want this one also, they are also used in electromagnetic braking in electric trains. Now in electric trains there is a braking arrangement to apply the brakes. Now that is electromagnetic braking systems in a electric trains, or electromagnetic brakes. Electromagnetic brakes are there in a electric trains. Now at least you remember 6 applications of that. Just they'll ask you what write or mention the application. They will not ask you to explain the applications. Okay, hope you understand. Now let us proceed to the next topic, which is a very most important topic, is that Everybody will understand what is the effect of eddy current. Now what happens? The heat generated will be there. Heat will be generated. Now this heating effect is sometimes desirable, sometimes it is undesirable. Sometimes we use this as for application, sometimes we use this as it is not desirable for us. How can we control? By reducing, by increasing. Understand this? Eddy current cannot be reduced completely. It can be controlled by decreasing the area of plate. If you decrease the area of plate, what actually happens? The resistance of the plate increases. If the resistance of the plate increases, means the eddy current will be reduced only to some extent. Or else by laminating the plates. If you laminate the plate, the resistance of the plate increases once again. There are two methods. Once by decreasing the area of plate. Again, if you want further reduction, you have to laminate with some wax. What happens when you laminate these plates? What happens? Once again, the resistance of the plate increases. Again, you can reduce the eddy current formation in the plates. Okay. Now go to the next concept, which is self-induction. Self-induction, sometimes also called self-inductance also called. Okay, before defining the self-induction, let me tell you about what is an inductor first. Okay, what is an inductor? Okay, inductor is a component. Inductor is a component like capacitor. Like capacitor and resistor, inductor is also a component which is commonly used in electronic circuits. Now how it looks like? Inductor is consist of number of turns wounded on an air core, means there is air only. Then just I wounded the coil around the. For example, I take this, I wound the coil, I will form an inductor, I remove this duster from that point. What happened? I got only a coil. This coil is, I call it as an inductor. It means inductor is another component like capacitor and resistors, commonly used in electronic circuits. Now, how it looks like? It is consist of number of turns wounded on an air core, air result, or else wounded on a metallic cores. Let me show you that. Okay students, let me show you how the inductor looks like. Now this is an air core inductor. In this here, there is no gap. It is just I wounded a coil here. Same thing here also I done here. This is also an inductor. Just an air core is there. Nothing is there. Just I wounded a coil. This is also an inductor. Now here I use a metal here. The metallic core is there. I'm using around this metallic core. I wounded here the copper wires. And this is also an inductor. Now you might have understand how the inductor looks. This is called inductors. Inductor is a component basically used in an electronic circuit. How it is? It is a number of turns wounded on this. Now how can we define this? Inductor is a device, or inductor is a component which stores mechanical and it stores magnetic energy. Or inductor is a component which stores energy in the form of magnetic form. I write it down for definition. Inductor is what? How can we define? Inductor, it is a component which stores energy in the magnetic form. Same thing it comes for here also. Capacitor already studied. Capacitor is a component which stores energy in the form of electric. Here the inductor stores energy in the form of magnetic. Now it is the energy stored in inductor is called magnetic potential energy. Now, do you understand like this? Now, what is inductor? Inductor is a component which stores energy in the form of. Now, let us understand about how the self-induction will comes out here. Now, what actually happens? I take an inductor, connect this inductor to a battery, then to a key. This is not a normal key, it is a tapping key. Now let me understand about self-induction or self-inductance. Now first point what I am doing here, when key is pressed, when I press this key, what happens? The current starts increasing. What happens? Current starts increases. If the current starts increasing in the inductor, what actually happens? Because it is a tapping key, when I press, it is not suddenly steady, doesn't acquire steady current there, because it is a tapping key. If I use a plug key, it will become directly, but I am using a tapping key. When I tap this, what happens? The current starts increasing in the inductor. Now, if the current starts increasing, definitely the flux also increases in a conductor. If the flux increases, what happens? EMF will be induced. EMF will be induced. Now, that EMF, I can write here this an induced EMF, because there is a flux is increasing in this inductor. Now, flux increases EMF. The induced EMF is given by L di by dt. I will write it down later on. You know that d5 d by dt as per Faraday's law. d5 d by dt is a minus indicate the induced EMF try to oppose the increase of current. Now what actually happens? EMF will be induced. Here I write this is an EMF. EMF will be induced. I write EMF will be induced. What happens? The induced EMF will generate what? It is a closed circuit. It will generate a current. Induced current will be generated. Now what is the direction of induced current here now? What happens? Current is increasing, flux is increasing, EMF will be induced. As it is a closed circuit, it will what happens? It will produce a current, that is a induced current. Now what is the direction of induced current? The direction of induced current is to oppose this. That is small, I written here. This small current, what is a induced current, which try to oppose the increase of your applied current or increases of the flux. Any one of these it try to oppose. Now that is the direction. This is the direction of your applied current. This is the direction of what? Induced current. This is the direction of induced current. Now this is the one thing you know. What actually happens? This induced current try to delay to reach the maximum current in a circuit or in an inductor. Now, when this process takes place, what happens? The induced current will always try to oppose the increase in current. The current slowly try to reach its maximum value. Till it reaches maximum value, try to oppose this. It means that this induced current delays. What happens? What it does? This induced current delay the increase of current to maximum value. Say I naught is maximum value. To reach that maximum value, the induced current try to delay that current because it try to oppose it. That's why it is called as back EMF. It is also called back EMF. Now this is very important to understand what actually happens when the key is pressed. The current in the inductor increases. If the current increases, flux links with the coil also increases. If the flux linked with the coil increases, what happens? It induces the EMF in a inductor. The induced EMF will now further generate what happens? Induced current. This induced current try to oppose the applied current. Try to oppose the applied current. Now this induced current delays the increase of current to maximum value. Increase of current to maximum value. Now what is second case? If I release the key, what is the second case? When a key is released. When the key is released. If I release the key, what actually happens? If I release the key, what actually happens? If I release the key, current decreases. If current decreases means flux links with the coil also decreases. Once again what happens? The EMF will be induced. This induced EMF try to generate a current. This induced current now what happens? Try to oppose this decrease of current. Now what happens? Now in this case what happens? I will draw here. When the key is released, the applied current is in this direction and induced current also in this direction. Now this is called as forward EMF. Please remember, when induced current try to oppose the applied current, whatever EMF is developed here, this is called as back EMF. Now when induced current try to oppose, but the direction of induced current and the applied current both are in same direction, the EMF developed in a inductor is called forward EMF. These two are very important terms, back EMF and forward EMF. Now what actually happens? This delays the current to decrease to minimum value. Now if this is try to oppose, means what happens? Oppose in the same direction as opposing, it means the current will not become suddenly zero. The induced current try to oppose to reach the minimum value. What the applied induced current delays to decrease the current to minimum value. Now this property of a coil or inductor to increase or decrease, the property of a coil to delay the increase or decrease of current in a inductor is called self-induction, or simply induction or inductance. Self-inductance we are called, or simply we call as a inductance. I'll repeat once again. This property of coil which delays the increase of current or decrease of current, decrease of current in a inductor is called self-inductance, or simply called inductance. Now it means that self-induction, it is a property of a coil, by virtue of which the current increases or decreases. The delay of current, I'll write down the definition. Now once again I'll repeat for you. Self-induction, it is a property of a coil by virtue of which the increase or decrease of a current is delayed in a inductor. Is called self-induction. Okay, you might have understand what is self-induction. Self-induction is a property of a coil which delays the increase or decrease of current in a coil. I write it down for you. You might have understand with this experiment what actually happens. The self-induction, I write the definition. Self-induction, it is the property of a coil, property of a coil, it is a property of a coil by virtue of which delay the increase or decrease of current, increase or decrease of current in a coil or inductor. Now this is the definition of inductor. Now what is the inductor? Inductor, it is a property of the coil by virtue of which it delays the increase or decrease of current in a coil or an inductor. Now you might even understand. Now let us go to the next concept, which is coefficient of self-induction or inductance. Please pause the video and note down the definition of the induction or self-inductance. Now come to the coefficient of self-induction. Coefficient or written here. Coefficient of self-induction. Coefficient of self-induction. Now, if you consider a inductor, in the inductor, the current flowing to inductor is I. Now, how the magnetic flux linked with this inductor is related with the current. Now, as if like it is a solenoid, you already know that in a solenoid, the magnetic field produced in a solenoid is given by B is equals to mu naught N I, where N is what? Number of turns per minute length, where I is the current flowing through the solenoid. Now, the flux linked with the solenoid, how can we write? If there are n number of turns, n is the total number of turns in a solenoid, and the total number of turns is written by NBA. That n is represented by total number of turns is number of turns per length into length of the solenoid. Now substitute these values in the flux. N into L mu naught N I into A. Now this flux is equals to N square mu naught L A into I. Now see here, N square is the number of turns per unit length, it is a constant. Mu naught is permeability of free space, it is a constant. L is the length of inductor, it is a constant. A is the area of the cross section, area cross section of the coil, it is also constant. It means these are all terms are constant. It means that if a current I flows through the inductor, the flux developed in a inductor is directly proportional to current flow through it. Now just recall it. It means if I consider an inductor, the current flowing to the inductor is directly proportional to the flux linkage in an inductor. Just for recalling purpose I wrote in here. It means if I consider an inductor, the current flowing to the inductor is directly proportional to what? Current flowing through it. If I equate, there is always a constant will come. This constant will be here I write R is a constant of proportionality, N is a constant of proportionality, and this L is called coefficient of self-inductance, or simply they are called inductance. Simply also called inductance. Sometimes they are called coefficient of self-inductance, sometimes they are called only self-inductance. Now if our L is equals to phi by R. Now you might have been thought that what is the SI unit of it? The SI unit is magnetic flux is Weber. Magnetic flux will be Weber, whereas SI unit of current is ampere. Now, the SI unit of the self-inductance is Weber per Henry. There is one more special unit there for it, Henry. Now, the SI unit of the self-inductance will be Weber per ampere or okay. From this equation, you might understand that the self-inductance might be related to flux and current, but it is a wrong thing. It is a constant of proportion. It does not depend upon current and flux linkage. Let us compare with this. Let us consider resistance and the capacitor to understand how they are related. The resistance and the capacitors. Now, when you apply the potential between these 2 points, say between A and B points, that is, potential is applied between these two terminals. A potential is applied between here, in between. Now, what will happen? The current starts flowing. Now, what happens here? Charges start flowing through the capacitors. Now, how will you write as follows now? V is proportional to I. V is equals to I into R. What is this R? R is once again a constant of proportionality. It does not depend upon current and voltage. Same thing here also. The self-inductance does not depend upon the flux linkage and the current flowing through the inductor. As you see the resistor, the current flowing through the resistor and the voltage does not vary, but resistance does not depend upon the current flowing through the resistor and the potential applied across the resistors, because the resistance only depends upon these factors. What are the factors here? These factors are physical property of a conductor, physical property of a resistor, physical property of a resistor. Similarly, when you write Q is proportional to V, now Q if equal to get C into V. What is this? Where C is the capacitance. Again, the capacitance does not depend upon the charges flowing through the capacitors and the voltages of potential applied across the capacitor. Capacitance depends only upon the what is the medium between the plates, what is the area of it. Once again, the physical property of the capacitor. Similarly, the inductance depends only upon the physical property of the inductor. Number of turns. What is the air core or iron core taken, soft iron core is taken, means once again the physical properties on the physical properties means the inductance depends on area, length of the inductor, area and the length of the inductor, core material of the inductor, core material used in an inductor, air core or a nut. Means here see that this is a iron core material. It means you are getting more amount of self inductance here. Here is a air core material because its air is there. That's why it's air core material. Again, it depends upon number of turns. Depend on here how many number of turns you draw per bit length, and what is the length of your inductor. What is the length of? If it is a self-inductance does not depend upon flux and the current. Please do remember, I just correlated this with the resistance and the capacitors. It means self-inductance is only depends upon area, core material, area and the core materials. Now let us move on to the further. I hope you understand on what factors the self-inductance will be dependent. Now let us move ahead. According to the Faraday's condensed law, the induced EMF is given by minus d phi d by dt. Now what is the flux here? Flux formula is L into d by dt. If I substitute minus d L I divided by dt, it means where L is a constant, di by dt. Now this is an induced EMF, this is a flux linkage. Now here we will get two definitions from these two equations. One definition I already told you, that is inductance or a self-inductance. It is a property of a coil by virtue of which delays the increase or decrease of current in an inductor. That is a basic definition for inductors. We can also define the self-inductance by different method. One, by this equation. How I tell you that? If in this equation, if the current value becomes 1 ampere, the flux becomes what? If a unit current flowing through the inductor, the magnetic flux links is numerically equal to self-inductance developed in this conductor. Self-inductance developed in this conductor means, how can we define? The self-inductance of a coil or self-inductance is numerically equal to magnetic flux links with the coil. Magnetic flux links with the coil when a unit current flows through a coil. When a unit current flows through a coil, I write it down. Self-inductance is numerically equal to magnetic flux linked with the magnetic flux when magnetic flux linked with the inductor. Magnetic flux linked with the inductor. Magnetic flux linked with the inductor when a unit current flows through it. Next definition I write down, you have to understand. Now this is the second definition. Now come to the third definition here in this equation. Now if this di by dt value minus represents what here? Just decrease. To understand, minus represents what in this equation? It is a opposition only. Opposition to the induced EMF. Whatever applied current is, it opposes. That's why minus is there. Now here say that minus di by dt is a decrease actually. Minus also comes, plus also comes here. Now the EMF self-inductance is numerically equal to EMF induced in a coil. When the rate of decrease or take or rate of increase or take. Rate of decrease or increase of current is 1 ampere per second. 1 ampere per second. Means this is third definition for self-inductance. Self-induction is numerically equal to induced EMF. Numerically equal to induced EMF when the rate of flow of current in the inductor, it decreases. If it plus, it increases 1 ampere per second. Then your induced EMF is equal to self-inductance. This EMF is equal to self-induced EMF. Please do understand these are the two definitions which are. Now, coefficient of induction for a solenoid. This is the derivation for you. Coefficient of self-induction. Now, one more assignment will come if you understand what is a self-induction. Two assignments already told them what is the first assignment for self-inductance. Weber per ampere. One more is Henry. One more will come here. If you bring this side, EMF will be represented in volt, where ampere per second will be ampere per second. Now it will be one more unit will be 1 volt per ampere second. Now this is one more. It means they have to remember all three here. Basically, inductance is represented by Henry, but other units are Weber per ampere or 1 volt second per ampere. 1 volt second per ampere. These are the three units assigned for the. Okay, now come for the next concept, which is coefficient of self-induction.